This model is the SKX, collaboration with Stuart Kennedy for his 2016-2017 CT campaign. Basically what we're trying to achieve is, with this model, is trying to take what I've learnt from my journey with the modern planing hull style designs with multiple concaves and straighter rail lines, and apply some of those magic design elements to a more traditional shape, so it's more aesthetically pleasing from a visual point, whether it be judges in contests or just spectators from the beach who are used to seeing a more traditional outline moving across the wave. So basically what we've done is just got a somewhat traditional template. It's more of a stubbier style shortboard. So it's got a little bit more width in the nose here at the 12-inch mark, and somewhat, you know, the standard like 14.5 in the tail and traditional kind of squash tail. The main differences between this model and some of the other squash tails on the market that you might see in contests is the bottom hull configuration. We've got a deep set quad inside single concave. So basically what that means is you have a single concave throughout the bottom of the board like a traditional thruster. Then within that is dropped a quad concave, which is a double barrel through the center, and then also concave scooped out rail planing areas, planing surfaces off the rail. So that really gives you a tucked edge, so your edge and rail of the board sits a little deeper in the water than the low point of the concave, so you're getting a very precise bitey grip on rail and very sensitive direct turning response to the board, and also obviously a lot of lift once the board is on a plane and on a flat plane across the water. It's really kind of the concaves are pushing it out of the water and kind of detaching, so it's a very free, loose feeling when you're gaining speed, but as soon as you engage the rail, the concaves engage and really grip the water, so you're getting a really positive grip and sensitivity off through your turns. Yeah, so that translates into a very high performance ride. Rocker wise, it's a pretty mellow rocker, this one. It's not too exaggerated. I would call it just like a medium rocker throughout. It's a pretty low entry into like a medium tail kick of about 2 3/16 tail kick through the tail. So it's not extreme, it's not flat, it's just a nice user-friendly functional rocker for general wave conditions where it's a small wave or it's quite a large wave. It'll just kind of do that job where it's meeting the needs of most riders in just about any wave. So really happy with the rocker, how it came out. It's got quite a low rail, this one. It's got quite a low volume foiled rail to it, and part of the reason why I go a little bit lower with my rail volume comparative to some of the other shapers is we're exclusively using EPS here at Firewire. So as people know, EPS has got a little bit more buoyancy to the foam. So rather than try and create technologies where you're trying to compensate for rail volume and stuff, I just take a little bit of volume out of my rails, so they're a bit more bitier. They don't have as much float in that rail section of the board, so they really engage the wave and never skate out like some people might suggest that EPS can do at some point. So we're overcoming that just with the design aspects of the board. Obviously this board was designed for Stu Kennedy and his contest campaigns, so it really fit his quiver when the waves are a bit bigger, a bit more powerful, maybe an unruly ocean where a traditional template might just sit down in the water and kind of deal with junky water a little bit better than say a sci-fi with a big wider bat tail that has an extreme amount of lift and maybe gets a bit overpowered at times. This model will just be a little bit more predictable and trustworthy when pressure's on in a heat and you got to kind of put a score together. You can kind of just trust the board will go through the motions and do exactly what you want it to do. So this was, you know, obviously a great model for his day in, day out contest needs. And then, you know, when the waves got 3 or 4 foot point waves with a nice clean face, obviously the sci-fi would give him, you know, that extra bit of spice and speed where a traditional template will kind of, you know, reach its maximums in a less of a wave. So yeah, it's a great contest board. It's a great board for people that like a traditional outline and still want a little bit of innovation with the technology and the bottom hull.